Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new here for the first time, welcome. My name is Angela, and I find my paradise through reading. And today, because we're in the first week of August, and I was going through my bookshelves, like trying to figure out what it was I wanted to read for the month of August. And so I was like, let me bring you guys along with me so we can pick out my August TBR. So let me, like, all bent over here. Okay, so, all right. Well, let me not sit down yet because this is where I want to start. This is my classics shelf, and I want to read another book on the list of 100 greatest books ever written, the list I've been working my way through for the last number of years. So I started to keep the list here. Um, And I think for the month of August, like I've been reading a lot of like really big books, real big heavy chonkers. The Count of Monte Cristo, War and Peace. I just finished The Lord of the Rings. It's not on this list, but wow. So I want something a little bit less heavy, less of a chonker, something that I can get through kind of quickly. But with most of these classics, I found that even the thinner books, like you don't just fly through them. There's a lot to get through. You kind of read them slowly and absorb them, and they're just that's why they're such great books. They really get into you. Um, so like yeah, like Don Quixote. I think that's in this. Yep, definitely by Miguel de Cervantes Saavedra. That's here. That's a big one. David Copperfield, I think, is on this list, and that's a big chunker. Ooh, the Hunchback of Notre Dame. I'm not sure if that's. I think it's on here, but it's a big one. It's a chunker. Um. mm, mm, I. We got some new ones. I got some new classics. When I was at the library book sale, fundraising book sale. Ah, I think I found it. So we have A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man by James Joyce. Okay. This is the version that I found when I was at the book sale. Let me see if there's a price in here. No, there's no price in here, so I think I paid like 50 cents for this. I don't know what this is about. Um, by far the most living and convincing picture that exists of an Irish Catholic upbringing. The technique is startling, a most remarkable novel. H.G. Wells wrote that. Oh, wow. So profound and beautiful and convincing a book is part of the lasting literature of our age. In it is the promise of that new literature, new both in form and content, that will be the classics of tomorrow. But it doesn't say what it's about. The Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man. Well, a lot of these books I get into like not really knowing anything about it. And this is so I don't know. I will definitely I'll read this and let you guys know what I thought about it and what it's about. I had thrown I had thrown one of my bookmarks in here. I don't know when I did that, but there it is. So we'll see. We will see. I don't know. It's 100 greatest books ever written, so I really have super high expectations for this one. So I'm going to add this to my TBR for the month of August. That's going to be my classic of the month, and there we go. Okay. Um so I want to read some fantasy. Like I uh, okay, so I read The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit last month, and fantasy is so fun. It's so freaking fun. And so I was here and I was trying to figure out, do I want to read the Percy Jackson books, or at least like the first one, or and here's what I was like, I was between the Percy Jackson or the Christopher Paolini books, the Aragon. Hold on, can you see? Let me bring this down a little bit so you see what I'm looking at. Okay, so I have read the Paolini books, Aragon, Eldest, Brisinger, Inheritance, and Murtagh. This got released, I think, last year. So I got this. I haven't read this yet because it's been so long since I read these that I want to do a reread before I read the new one, Murtagh. So do I want to get that started? I don't know. But then I have this Paolini book that I've never read. I found this at a thrift store, I think. It's To Sleep in a Sea of Stars. Ah, oh, look at that cover. What? So I'm inside. Okay. So I'm not sure what this is about. I think this is this like a sci-fi. The on the back it says space holds countless secrets. She just found the deadliest one. Ma. And this is a chunker. Let me see how many pages this is. Not too bad. There's okay, appendices. So let's not include that in the page count. So I would say about 819 pages. That's not bad at all. But you know what? Like seriously though, like, and I think where I am really leaning towards rereading Aragon is because you can tell it was just so heavily inspired by Lord of the Rings. Very, very, oh my goodness. Um, and this was my first like real fantasy book that I've ever read. And it really like threw me into that world. And like, look, that's Saphira. That's the main character's dragon. He's a dragon rider, and it's a signed edition. You see this? Yes, yes, sir. There it is. Um, but I'm really leaning towards this because, like, yeah, I'm reading The Lord of the Rings and enjoying it, and I just kept thinking of Aragon and how special this book was to me, and how it just kind of opened my world to like, fantasy and dragons and elves and dwarves. Um, ah, okay, I'm picking this one. I'm gonna do it. So let me see if this is my August, then I can do like August, September, October, November, and then by the end of the year, I'll be reading Murtagh. I think, yeah, this was meant to be. Okay, we're gonna do a reread. It's time. It's definitely time. So that's two books, and ooh, what? Oh, well, obviously, okay. I've been chatting with a few of you lovely people, and I have been asking about the next steps in my Lord of the Rings journey. Okay, I am never going to be as, oh my goodness. I almost feel like some of you um, who have commented and t- you know, kind of schooled me a little bit in Lord of the Rings, which I'm just loving and I appreciate it so much. It almost feels like, did you guys like take a college course on Lord of the Rings? Because it's like you guys know everything, the history of Middle Earth from like the creation of Middle Earth. I mean, I think some of you even studied the Elvish tongue. I swear. Okay, I really like the Lord of the Rings. I don't think I'm ever going to be at that level. But yeah, it's so great, and I'm so glad that I have so many people that I can turn to for help and for questions. It's just been crazy. Um, but you lovely folks have said like, "Hey, the Silmarillion," and if y'all saw that, let me move this down a little bit. You saw that I got the Silmarillion not too long ago, and it is like a really cool edition, and it is here with my Lord of the Rings set. So here's the Fellowship, Two Towers, Return of the King. I have the Hobbit here and the Silmarillion. Now, I've been told not to read this straight through like it's a novel. Um, this is a lot. Oh God, this is very intimidating. I'm not gonna lie. Uh, why does it look so thick? But it's only showing like 300. Okay, those are index. Okay, so they're saying like don't read it all the way through, like as if it's just a book, little chunks at a time. So I think I'm gonna start working my way through this. So it's not technically like an August TBR, like something that I'm hoping to read and complete during the month of August, but I think I'll start slowly because I hear it's a lot to take in, a lot of information. Okay, so I'm gonna add that there. Oh, I did show you guys this before, um, but this is like my little Lord of the Rings, the World of Tolkien box set where each volume gives you like more information about things. So I have the Battles of Tolkien, the Dark Powers of Tolkien, the Ring Legends of Tolkien, the Hobbits of Tolkien, the Heroes of Tolkien, a Dictionary of Tolkien, and an Atlas of Tolkien. So I know some people, are like, oh, how could you like, why don't you just like reference a map if you are not like geographically inclined? And yes, I have I have all kinds of maps and atlases here. There's the maps in the book. It was just, you can't really imagine the scale. Okay, like I'll say, like I've never actually seen a real mountain in real life. Like, what's that like? And then if they're saying, oh, we're journeying for 5 days, like how far is that? Like, and I'll see the map and I can see the path they're taking, but what's the scale? Like how massive is it? So it's just trying to picture things like that. Like if I were traveling for 5 days, how many miles fully loaded can I walk? Maybe 10? I don't know. I never tried. I never tried. How am I supposed to know? And when you're going through mountains, like what's that like? Is it like steep rocky? Is it steep hills then rocks? Is it like what's it like? That's where I was, I guess, having trouble with. And then yeah, anytime they're changing direction or they're trying to figure out their path and I'm pulling out a map or whatever, it was just, I don't know. I don't know. Just naturally I struggle picturing it. I don't know. But yeah, the maps and everything, that's very helpful. So so what I get? I got a fantasy. So I got Aragon. I have one of the 100 greatest books. I have the Silmarillion. And I think I'm going to pick a couple books from this bottom shelf. I feel like I don't give it as much attention as it deserves. Um, and there's a lot of books down here. So, and I have Melody here. You want to say hello? Hello. Besos? Okay, you're such a good girl. So get your tippy tappies. Sorry, if you're gonna hear tippy tappies on this video. I can't control that. So let me see. Oh, Um, guys, I'm not really sure. There's so many good books that I've just. Oh God, now here's Bolt. Oh my God, sorry. They're trying to help me pick out books. They're like, oh, pick out the dog books, huh? Okay, get out. I want something light and fun. I think this might be cool. Ember and the Ice Dragons. I want like like a child. I like incorporating like children's books and YA into my monthly TBRs. I just find that they're so wholesome usually and so fun and innocent in some ways. And I just need that in my life. I really do. So I think Ember and the Ice Dragons. And of course, dragons. I mean, you have to. You have to. And I'm like really missing fall and winter right now. So if this is going to give me like winter vibes, I'm going to be so happy about it. Get your nose out the way. Bolt wants to. Sir, excuse me. Sir, move your nose. I swear he's going to knock my camera over. So that's okay. So I try to pick at least like 5 or 6 books. Oh, I started one. I did start a book August 1st. It's Crying in H Mart. And that's a book that one of my colleagues dropped on my desk and was like, here, you got to read this. So I have it at work. I did start that. So that's one book. So that's one. Then Ember, Silmarillion, which doesn't really count because I'm not going to read the whole thing. Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man, and Aragon. Let me pick like 2 more books because I really want. Ooh. Oh, this okay. Letters to a Young Poet by Rilke. Translation by M.D. Herder Norton. Letters to a Young Poet. Oh my gosh, I've heard so much. Yes, 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 yes. I'm adding this one. I've been wanting to get around to that. And I kind of want to look at this one. A Wolf for a Spell by Kara Sutton. Illustration by Paulina Hanuniemi. A vivid and rollicking adventure that proves a wolf doesn't have to be big or bad to win the day. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at the illustration. Oh my goodness. I think this will be fun. I think this is going to be fun. I want this to be a fun reading month. My reading months usually are. And then I want to pick something that maybe might not be so fun. Oh, there's that one. Okay, Jack Edwards. He's another booktuber that I absolutely adore. And one of his favorite books is Sula or something. I think it's by Toni Morrison. And I know I have it somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. I think it's all the way in the very top shelf. Let's take a look. See. Uh, um. So. Love, Beloved. Uh, Song of Solomon. It looks like I have like my Toni Morrison books like all spread out. Like, like you see it up there? Not sure. Still Alice. I know I have it. I know I have it. Mashal. I don't think I'm gonna do an I don't think I'm gonna do a manga this month. It's just like I don't know. All right, let me get back down to the floor because it's if it's not all the way up there, then it might be all the way down here. I think Anne Rice, Anne Rice, Anne Rice. Thousand Splendid Suns. Oh yeah. I don't know. Where the smacks did I put that book? It might be on one of my other shelves. But I just realized, remember this little box set that I got? I actually want to pick one of these. Maybe that's what I'll do this time. Right? These gorgeous books. This has Heidi. This is Heidi, Little Women, Anne of Green Gables, and A Little Princess. I'm gonna pick A Little Princess. I'm really excited, like, to get into these. These are so adorable. They are so gorgeous, and I think just looking at it and holding it, like, it's a whole vibe. Like, just holding this book is a vibe in itself. And I don't know how else to describe it, but look, I mean, I feel good just holding it, and the size, it's so cute. Absolutely. Yeah, A Little Princess. I'm adding it. And Sula, where are you, dear? Let's look at one of my other bookshelves. I was gonna say never mind, but you know what? Usually once I get something in my head, I go for it. Okay. That's like my children's and YA kind of stuff. Although I do have wait. Is it? Am I losing my mind? All right, Toni Morrison, Sula. Because I see this, and this is not the book that Jack Edwards was talking about. Did I mess up the name? What's it called? Because this says Sulha. My dogs are chomping on their toys. So if you hear chomping noises, that's them. All right. Oh my God, I almost tripped over my cow. Ah! See, I'm not crazy. Let me put you here. All right. The Keeper of Lost Things. Yeah, no. Sula by Toni Morrison. Oprah's Book Club. Who is this? Melody. Okay. That's that. So I really, really have high hopes for this because Mr. Jack Edwards, I adore him and his videos. And like he's just so full of recommendations, and they're generally like spot on. Like he's hardly ever wrong. I mean, I love his taste in books. So yeah, definitely. So I think this is let's take a look at what I picked. Okay. Now mind you, there is another book that I have at work, and that is Crying in H Mart. So that's the one I already started. So this is my August TBR. Ding. Okay. So Toni Morrison, Sula, A Little Princess by Frances Hodgson Burnett, A Wolf for a Spell by Kara Sutton, Letters to a Young Poet by Rainer Maria Rilke, Ember and the Ice Dragons by Heather Fawcett, The Silmarillion, illustrated by the author J.R.R. Tolkien. Oh, this book is just so beautiful. I mean, you gotta, I showed it to you guys already, but just look at it again because my goodness. All right. Okay. A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man by James Joyce. I think I'm going to start this today. And that's to satisfy one of the books on my 100 greatest books ever written list. And then Aragon by Christopher Paolini. It is going to be a reread for me. I feel like, has it been like 20 years since I read this book? When was this published? It very well could have been like 20 years. Let me see, when was this? 2003. Copyright 2002. Oh my gosh, so that's about right, because I feel like I got read this when it first came out, and then like when all of the other ones like came out, I was eating them up. I was just so excited. So yeah, holy smokes, about 20 years. Let's do this again. It's time. Oh my goodness. So that's that. Thank you so much for joining me and seeing kind of like my weird process of picking books out. It helps, I think, that I have my shelves somewhat organized by genre, because I could be like, okay, I want a fantasy book this month, a classic, a manga. And so it really like helps provide that variety. And then I have a lot of my like children's and YA kind of. So I'm still really organizing it, because there are, as you saw, like some books that are just mixed up all over the place. But it helps provide the variety that I'm looking for during the month. And, sometimes my books do get mixed up. This is an idea, and I will most likely, like, I try to stick to it, but sometimes something else pops up, or maybe I won't read them all, or I'll read them all and some. So we'll see what August brings. But I feel like this is a good list. This is a little bit of everything, and it's going to be a very cool and very interesting reading month. So let me know if you've read any of these books that I have selected today, and if you have anything that you would like to tell me about them, leave them in the comments. Until then, I will be talking to you soon, and happy reading. Bye.